Alrighty guys, 2 a.m. Thursday shop update video. So, X is on the dyno. Now this is only the start of a tuning process. And it's something I want to pound into everybody's head when you do a street bike build like this. Like, Killshot over there, the Hyperboosted Killer as I called it. It is headed home, actually, tomorrow, supposedly. We'll see what the shipper says. But that bike got dyno tuned in 2 days. Okay, we had a day on E85, a day on pump gasoline. Okay, it's not a full day, it's like 3 hours each. And a lot of cool down in between. But in any case, then it went to Dennis with his riding style. And he rode around and finessed what he wanted to finesse and what he thought he needed improve, which it needed improved. Then it came to me, and I finessed what I could finesse. I put 400 miles on that bike. Well, not quite, it's like 340 something miles. Close enough anyway. Full tank of gasoline, full tank of E85, finessing cruise control settings, drive-by-wire, the freaking dash functions, the quick shifter, the auto blipper, things that I just wanted to tweak and make just a little bit better. So, that's just starting into the tuning process. We're still looking at another week or two. Brett's bike. Got it up here, got all the fuel lines made, and this ginormous regulator mounted and such. I had to do things a little differently than I normally would. But the fuel lines are not going to work with this pump. So they have a fitting welded to the quick connect and a fitting welded to the... In any case, this fitting hits the frame, this fitting hits the breather. It's already a low pro breather. I'd rather run a full height breather and just redo the fitting the way I normally do, which is to do a hard 90 out of the bottom of here for the return and run it backwards, and then this be a quick connect 5/16. So I'm going to redo that. I can't. I'm picky. Okay, I'm picky. I get it, I'm picky. But anyway, I got everything else fittings-wise to button this thing up. All my street tees and stagger tees and such to be able to use the stock dash with the stock oil pressure light and still add in my oil pressure sensor, and to be able to set up, this is old school before we went to the multi-block. This is an old system that uses dual MAC valves with a T in the middle. Anyway, got all that, got the stuff to mount the regulator, so we can go ahead and move forward with this girl and get everything short of the fuel pump done. I'm also thinking I want to go to a factory regulator mounting bracket, but I may look at other alternatives for that. Let's see. Jimmy's bike, I haven't touched since I've been back. I need to jump on this after X comes off the dyno. This will go on the dyno. We're going to swap this igniter out for a different one, because I believe that is a Chinesium. This girl, he's just waiting on a tank gasket for the fuel pump, and then we'll replace the tank gasket and the starter solenoid he already has. Omas, this might smoke. I don't know if it will or not. Well, it won't start anyway because I can't pull the clutch. Anyway, this bike's together and running. I got to get this up on the dyno and finesse it a little bit, and I still need to mount the overflow bottle, and I need a master link for the chain. I'm picking that up tomorrow. This thing is just a whole bane of existence. The motor's done. What I was paid to do and agreed to do is done, short of the dyno tune. But there's a lot wrong with that makes it not tunable. So I may just... I don't know what the situation is. I got to talk to him. Scotty came over, put the motor back in tulip. It did have a spit shim. VTX, this is a insurance job for a dent in the fender, bent rotor, and grips. Not a big deal. I already got the grips together and got the bike running. Let's see. I need to order parts for that motor. Waiting on a bearing to come in for that motor. That motor was the one that was sitting on the dyno. And they bolted it together, and as soon as they tightened up the mains, it would seize. One of the mains is way too tight. So I'm going to go to a bigger main on it, and hopefully that solves the problem. I'm really tempted to take that crank and go have it checked, because really it plastic gauged decent, so I don't know why it's so bloody tight. This one I'm just mocked up for a spacer. If you can't tell, that isn't going to fly. And then, of course, we have Killshot over here ready to go home in the spotlight, and Forest Motor ready to go to a machine shop. I've also got the carbon bike down in storage. Motor is tore apart. He has started paying his deposit. Something I want to get through to people, and I'm not upset with this. It happens. That's the whole point of me bringing this up. Sometimes banks have limits on how much you can transfer through Zelle, Cash App, whatever the hell it is. In this case, it's Zelle, which is a direct bank-to-bank service most banks offer. He can only transfer $1,000. Well, to rebuild stock to stock an 07 Gixxer motor with new oil pump, new rods, new crank, properly with my warranty is $2,900, $1,900 deposit. So sometimes you're going to have that where you got to send $1,000 one day and then wait 3 or 4 days to send the other $900. It is what it is. I won't be upset with it. Just communicate. I started working on it without the full deposit because, well, I want to get it done. And 2, he's making an effort. The red and black Gixxer, that thing is done. Batteries in it, everything's in it. He come by with $500. He was supposed to pay it off. He did not. Something I want to bring up. I do not take trades. Okay, so if you're going to try and trade me, well, I don't take cars as trades. I might take trades if it's discussed before the work, but when I bid you a job and you have a balance, you can pay me the balance. You're not going to trade me a car. That's it. Like, if you come at me before we do a job and you're like, hey, build me a motor for this bike in exchange, and I like the idea, I might do it. But if I built you a motor and we'd agreed on a price and then you bring me a bike, I'm going to tell you to get screwed. I'm sorry. I don't want it. I don't have any use for an old 90s frickin' pickup truck. So, that's that. So basically, I got a buttload of dyno tuning to do. Omos got to go on the dyno. Boost Access on the dyno. The Silver Bike's got to go on the dyno. Jimmy's got to go on the dyno. Right after that, this will need to go on the dyno. So I'm working through them, getting there. It has been extremely hot. I don't know if you guys know, but over the weekend while I was at KOG, it was 103. That makes for a very miserable time in the shop and a very long tuning session because trying to keep these things cool at 103 degrees in here is pretty much impossible. You get basically one decent pull, and you're sitting there in the heat with hot fans blowing hot air on it for 30 minutes. So it takes a 2-day extensive dyno tune and turns it into a week real freaking quick to try and keep it from overheat. In any case, it's 2 a.m. I'm going to lay down on my cot, catch some Z's, and I'll talk to y'all later.